What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning, Gamecock Jenny. Good morning, James. Hey, babe. How's the leg doing? How's everything going, Gamecock Jenny? Everything going good? And everything. I was over there peeping in on YTC. YTC is YouTube camera. She's one of our content creators that I visit, and they were talking about Solid Sunny from the called the street sector. Her sister and her got into it, and she pepper sprayed her sister, and she went to jail. You know, and that her sister's been, um, recording her conversations, all this other stuff. They've been calling. It's just a lot of mess over there. I will say, Solid Sunny, hold your head up, boo. Everything gonna be okay. Hopefully, that situation you can get, out of it and away from, and you and your kids will be fine. Cause that's all I worry about. It ain't about you. It ain't about. And I know I ain't saying that in a bad way. I'm gonna explain to you why in a minute. You'll understand. It ain't about you. It ain't about your sister. It ain't about nobody else that's an adult. I worry about those children and getting you and those children in a better environment because kids don't deserve to be put in no bullshit between adults. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm hoping, Gamecock Jenny, I'm hoping that it goes very well with your, situation and everything. I hope that you get used to it because I know also it's another thing is getting used to like new equipment is also like a thing. Um, it's not it takes a minute to get used to something new like that. But if you don't know, Solid Sunny is a triple amputee, or a double amputee or something like that. I think she has both of her legs amputated, and I think one of her arms, if I'm not mistaken. But I know it's both of the legs. But I watched her story, but I'm gonna say a prayer for her and her children and her family. Because I'm gonna say this right now, no matter if me and my sister were fighting, and I'm talking about fighting. You be careful, sis. Be careful, my beautiful sister from another Miss Stud, my Creole butterfly. Um, no matter what, right? Um, no matter what, I'm hoping that everything goes well for her and all this situation. Um, those kids, and her deserve a stable place. Nobody deserves anything. Like then this, I'm gonna say this: no matter if me and my sister were fighting, I'm talking about we could be fist fighting. Would nobody on this internet be able to tell her a damn thing about me or me about her or vice versa? I'm going to tell you that. Like, we could be fighting, but if you enter the arena with the both of us, we are going to flip on your ass. Point blank, period. Me and my siblings could be fighting down. I'm talking about ready to fist fight, throw hands. Don't enter that arena with us because we will flip and come together and flip on your ass. Don't do that. You don't get between sisters. You don't get between family. And I'm gonna say this: I would never do that to my sister over fucking internet, and nobody would be able to tell me to do that. Nobody would be able to pay me to do that. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. I don't care if we fighting. I don't care if we mad at each other at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? I could be mad as hell at her. I ain't gonna snake my sister like that. And my sister wouldn't snake me like that. Well, I hope she wouldn't anyway. I know I wouldn't, from my point of view. You know what I'm saying? No matter how mad I'm at her, I may want to hit her upside the head occasionally. You know what I'm saying? But you better not get in on it. I'm just saying. I could call her a bitch, but unless you know me, don't you call her one. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. But I'm going to pray for those children because regardless of what's going on between the adults in the situation, that's who you worry about. That's who I always worry about in all these situations when adults get into the messes that they get into. Because kids do not ask to be put in situations. You know, and I'll say this. I don't know Solid Sunny's sister. I don't know Solid Sunny's family. I only know Miss Solid Sunny very lightly through chat. Um, so I don't know her that well either. I know her. I know of her. Let me say it that way. We don't know each other on a personal level or no shit like that. Um, but I'm gonna pray for that situation because there's innocent children involved. Innocent kids that ain't got shit to do with what adults do. And I'm gonna say this right now. If the sisters listen, I want you to hear this. Don't let these internet folks ruin the relationship with your family. And even if your sister and you is fighting here and now and then, don't let that shit get between y'all. Because I'm going to tell you something. When these internet people disappear and go away, the people that going to be there for you is your family. Don't fuck up good shit with your family, even if y'all fighting or having disagreements. You know what I'm saying? No matter what goes on, that's your blood. And blood is thicker than water. You know what I mean? Don't do that to your blood over no internet bullshit. No beefing on the internet. No, don't let nobody pay you to snake your own sister. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If I see somebody that can literally be paid to snake their own blood, to snake their own sister, that's gonna make me look at you kind of funny and never trust you. Because if you could do that to your blood, what would you do to me? That's the way I look at it. That's just my personal point blank period. If you could do that to your blood relative, what would you do to me? Because I ain't your blood, and that means we ain't got those kind of connections. We didn't grow up together. We don't have that bond. So if you could snake somebody that close to you, I feel like yeah, I can't trust your ass as far as I could throw you. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion on things. I don't know the sister like that. I don't know what their fight is about. I don't care what their fight is about. That is their personal business. I don't believe it should be here on the internet. But this happens all the time. It don't just happen in the street sector. I've seen it in many other sectors where cousins, family members, and all that be on this internet fighting each other. Do I think you should keep it behind the scenes? Yes, I do. But can't tell nobody else what to do with their life. They grown ups. You know what I'm saying? But I always pray for the children that are involved in any situation like this. Kids don't deserve to be put in these situations. Now, by what I heard, you know, they literally sat there and talked crap about the mama to the kids. Don't do that shit. Even if you got a sorry ass baby daddy, right? A sorry ass baby daddy. Don't talk shit about the baby daddy to the child. Don't do that. Don't tell the child none of your feelings on that matter. You know what I'm saying? Let the child make up their mind in their own time. Let them find out on their own. Don't sit there and try to. Here's the thing: when you try to sway somebody's mind or talk a bunch of stuff, you're doing a bad thing. Because here's the thing: in 5-10 years time, they carry all that hate for somebody, or let's say disdain, and then they find out everything you told them was a lie, or they feel like you lied to them, or so on and so forth. Then you're the bad guy. Because you changed their mind instead of letting them make up their own mind. Don't do that stuff. I've told many, many, many people don't. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Even though me and my baby daddy had our issues, we had our problems, not once have I ever spoken bad about him to our child. Ever. Because I don't want my opinion of someone based in his opinion. I want his opinion to be his own. And what he feels and what he thinks, not what I feel and what I think. Because what I feel and what I think, I got shit to do with him and his daddy's relationship if he decided to have that. Right? And I think that's where no matter what you have or what kind of relationship you had with an ex partner or anybody else, no matter what bad happened there, don't let children know about it. Let them find out, because they'll understand it more. Even if, I'll say this, even if you know they're going to get hurt, and not hurt in a physical sense, it's going to be an emotional sense. You have to let that happen. And I hate to say it, you want to protect your kids from everything under the sun, but you can't sometimes. And you just got to be there to pick up those pieces as they fall. You got to be there to pick them up and hold them and love them up, love them through it all. You know, because with these situations of, you know, like this situation, the family fight and stuff, that's not a good environment for kids to be around. It's really not. That's putting a child in turmoil every day. They'll be having anxiety, all kinds of problems. But we was talking about, I was saying something else, and people trauma bonding all over the place, and narcissistic, you know, we've talked about narcissistic abuse syndrome, like people loving their abuser and going back to it, right? And this talk right here can go for multiple content creators you can think of in your mind, right? How many people have we seen curse out their audience, talk to them like they're shit, treat them bad, right? And people steadily flock back to it and go back to it and stay in it. Why? Because it's called narcissistic abuse syndrome. You start to crave the abuse. It starts to become your norm. Some people actually crave that kind of drama and that kind of stuff. And that's why even like let's take it into, you know, just drama on the internet. If you notice, some people crave the drama on the internet. They crave the fighting. They crave the back and forth, the you know, like the tug of war type situation. Now, some people only do it because they feel like they're defending themselves. But to a certain extent, why would you defend yourself from someone that's a known liar? Say it once and be done with it. I'm going to tell you this. It's what I did. I said it once. I'm done with it. If anybody wants to believe the lies that have been said about me, let them believe it. I don't have to prove who I am. Those who I truly care about and those who know me know who I am. I don't have to prove a damn thing. Right? If you know a person lies constantly, all the time, and that's all they do with multiple people, who's going to believe that person anyway? If all they do is lie, 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 they got the diabetes, then nobody's going to believe them anyway. You don't have to clear up any lies from a person that is a known liar. Say it once, be done with it. Because they're just going to keep lying. But if everybody knows your character and who you are, no matter how many lies they try to tell on you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in their favor. Because people know who you are. They know you're not that type of person. And they know that the other person and the other party is lying on you. So you don't have to clear up lies from somebody that is a known liar. If people know who you are, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to believe that person anyway. If they do believe them, you didn't need them in your life to begin with. If somebody is willing to believe a known liar, you don't need them in your life anyway. Point blank, period. You don't have to have the need to clear up every single thing that happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you don't see me on here every time somebody says a stupid lie. You don't see me on here going, oh, that's not true, because I don't have to say that about a lie. A lie is just that, a lie. And the people who know me know it's an outright lie, right? So why would I have to defend myself against that? I don't. And that could give more credence to someone's lies, or spread it to people who didn't even know what the person said or the person lied about. Because you got to think about this. If the person only has 10, 15 viewers, but you have way more of an audience than people actually like you, right? You're perpetuating their lies on yourself. So sometimes the best thing to do is just let them keep on yapping their yapper because people know that they're a liar. You don't have to disprove anything sometimes. I understand wanting to defend yourself. I understand standing up for yourself. That's an amazing quality for you. But you don't have to disprove someone who's always lying because they're going to disprove themselves within a few weeks. They'll keep saying so many lies and putting lies on top of lies. Eventually, they won't be able to keep their story straight. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is simple, a lie is complicated, right? With a lie, you have to keep the story straight. A lot of time with liars, they can't keep the story straight. The story is constantly changing. The story is constantly adding to and subtracting things that were said in the first story over and over and over again. So a lie is easy. I mean, a lie is hard to keep up. The truth is easy because it's just one way. So when somebody keeps lying on you, eventually they're going to run out of lies to tell, and they're going to start making up these big tall tales that make absolutely no common sense. And what I do with people who have the diabetes, I laugh at them. I sit back and have a good old chuckle at them. I laugh at their diabetes. There's a lot of people on here that got the diabetes. Not just a one or two, but a lot. That's why sometimes you'll see me speaking in general, because I follow a lot of different sectors, right? And this is just a compilation of watching multiple different sectors at one time and seeing it go on in different areas of YouTube. So it's like, if someone thinks the shoe is for them, I guess strap it up and wear it. But if it ain't for you, if it don't apply, let it fly, I suppose. But a lot of people got the diabetes. They like oils. They be lying just to be lying, child. But like I said, the truth, you ain't got to say a whole lot. The truth is always the truth, and it never changes. A lie keeps changing every time you turn around. So the best way to combat a lie sometimes is to ask the person, tell me that lie again. Tell me that lie again. Because they're going to keep changing that story. That story going to keep changing over and over and over again. Every time you turn around, something different going to be said about it. It sure is. But I was over there watching it. And, I'm going to say a prayer that Miss Solid Sonny gets out and her children okay, and all that situation. The family fixes and works on their situation and all that stuff. Because, that could be a very sad situation. That's family. And so I hope they all work their stuff out. I don't know what's going on with their situation fully. But I hope that it works out for the betterment of the children and the family itself, because family sometimes is all we have, right? Sometimes some of us, we have to have our chosen family, right? Some of us have to have our chosen family because our blood family ain't shit. Some of us, right? Because sometimes you do have that situation where blood family ain't shit. And sometimes you got to cut them off, even if it hurts. And Miss Sonny, if that is the situation, even if it hurts, and I know you've tried, or the other lady, I don't remember her name, I don't know. If y'all got to cut each other off for the betterment of both of you, if y'all know it's a toxic thing, it's not good for either one of y'all's peace, life, or whatever, cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it clean off. Because life's too short, entirely too short, to be living an unhealthy existence, a toxic existence, and to be super upset, right? Life's too short. Life goes by so very, very fast. People don't know you blink and you done missed 5-10 years of your life. 5-10 years of your life done went on by. Time is our most precious commodity on this earth, and it's the thing we get the least of. Think about it like that. Really sit there this morning and contemplate. Time is our most precious commodity, but it's the one thing we get the least of. So every moment that you waste on people who really don't matter to you or your life is a moment you can't get back. And they're not worth it. They're not worth your time, your energy, right? If they're not helping you pay your bills, if they're not sleeping in the bed with you, if they're not in your everyday functioning life, they're not worth you being upset over. So that's why you'll see me, my ignore game is on point. I will ignore the shit out of you to the point that I don't care what you say or do. I don't even know what you've been saying about me, if you said anything at all, and I don't care. I truly do not. People got to be able to have that ignore game. You got to be able to ignore things that is not affecting you to the point of living, right? When it comes to our mental health and our physical health, we have to take care of that. When it says in the Bible about your temple and taking care of your temple, a lot of people misconstrue that as, oh, you're not supposed to mar your temple. You're not supposed to get tattoos or piercings. No, what it means in that portion of the Bible is you only get one body. Take care of it while you got it, baby. Because once it shuts down, once it goes away, you don't get another temple. That's what that part of the Bible means. Take care of your temple, your body. You only get one. Take care of it. It will age and things will happen to it medically, right? Don't mar your temple up, because if you mar your temple up, you scar it up, it's going to have issues. That's what it means. Take care of your temple so you can have a long life, because time is the shortest commodity that we get. It's the most precious. Don't waste your own time on people that don't matter. If it don't matter and they don't matter, don't waste your time on them. They're not worth it. Think about it like that. You got one life to live. One. Make it what you want it. Push yourself. If you want something in this life, go for it. Don't be afraid to take that leap. Don't be afraid to jump off. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to go do it. Because if it's something that you know is going to seriously make you happy, go do it. If you're not hurting yourself or others, right, then why not go do it if it's making you happy? Just like the song says, if it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? So go do the things that make you happy today. Go out and touch grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to the rodeo if that's something you like to do. Go to the your favorite eating spot and get you a good old lunch today. You know, just have fun. Enjoy life. Life is super short and we don't get enough time in this world. Have the fun while you can. You don't realize how fast it goes. You blink and it's gone. When you're a child, think about it like this. When we were 15, 16 years old, we say, oh, I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait to grow up so I can go do what I want to do. Now, ask anybody in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I don't care. You're going on up. A lot of us wish we could turn back that clock and that hands of time and go back to being young again. Go back to where we didn't have responsibilities and all this other stuff. And we were just being children. When you're kids, you want to grow up super fast. When you're older, you understand that you shouldn't have wanted to grow up so fast. You should have took more advantage of that time being a kid. And that's why I want to make sure that even my child is being 17. I want to make sure he's not pushed to grow up too fast. To have his time to be a kid. To have his fun. Right? Because eventually he's going to have to be in this old, cold world as it is. And has to do everything that adults do. You know? So why not for us? Thinking about it now, we all have thought about that at one point in time or another. When I was a kid, I wanted to grow up fast. Now I wish I could go back, you know? And it seems like just yesterday you were in your, hey, twin mama love. Seems like just yesterday you was a kid yourself, and now you a grown up. Now you got grandkids. Now you got kids and responsibility. But when we were a kid, we wanted to grow up so fast. 16, 17-year-olds, I can't wait to be grown, get out of this house and do my own thing and live my life the way I want to live it. And now you grown, you're like, damn, I wish I could go back. I didn't have half as many responsibilities. I didn't have half as much stress as I got now. Sometimes you think about that when you get older. And we fought naps as kids. Didn't want to take a nap. Hated naps. Now, you ask anybody over 30, they love a good nap. A nap is the most amazing thing. Yep, and then bills started. That's the whole thing. And then bills started. All of us wanted to grow up so fast, and now we're like, son of a bitch, I want to go back. When all I had to worry about back then was, did I do my homework? That was such a worry back then, wasn't it? It was such a worry. Now the worry is, I got to pay this bill. You know what I'm saying? When we were kids, we think about it. Like, what worries did we really have again? And now look at the shit. You know what I'm saying? We blinked and 20 years went by. We blinked, and like me, I blinked and I'm close to 40. I'm like, what the hell happened? My son's almost grown. He's almost 18 years old. I blinked. What the hell happened? I'm like, this ain't right. Like, you just blink and it goes by super fast. Like, from the time my son was born and the day I held him in my arms till now, it's like it's went super fast. Time, that's why what I'm saying, the old adage, time is our most precious commodity. It's the one thing we don't get enough of. So I want people today and all days to think about that. Like, make your life happy. Make your day by day life what you want it to be. Thank you, twin mama love. Because life is super short. And, take care of yourself, mental wise, physical wise. Health is wealth. And you want to try to lengthen the time you do have, not shorten it. So when stressful liars come in your life and people with their diabetes, cut them people out. Cut that string. They're hanging by a string, right? Just take a pair of scissors and cut that string. Let them fall. They don't need to be there. And you do not have to combat their lies, because the people who really matter and love you know their lies. We know their lies. We already knew when it came out their mouth, when it tumbled out their lips, it was a lie. You know what I'm saying? That's like, they be lying on Miss Betty, Miss Fumble, Miss Watcher, Miss Twin Mama, so on and so forth, Miss Danny, so on and so forth. It's just constant. Miss Candace. I mean, I could just keep naming names. Right? Lying. Let me ask this question. Does anybody believe those lies? Because I don't. Not a damn one of them. I don't believe not an air nutter. Not an air nutter. And the people who really matter don't believe it. And anybody who wants to believe it ain't got common sense God gave a jackass. Because common sense states that a lot of that is lies and impossible. A lot of common sense says just having common sense, right? You know that a lot of that's lies. Just even if I didn't know, let's say retrospectively, I didn't know anybody, right? Just listening from the outside in, a lot of that I would know were lies, because it makes no common sense. It makes no plausible. It's not plausible. It has no plausibility. So it's a lie. Also, if you want to make a lie more believable, make sure it's a person that actually knows the person and can tell you real things about the person, not somebody who don't know jack shit about the person. They think they know something. Just because you wave to somebody on the street don't mean they know shit about you. Just because you say hey to somebody or you're nice to them and you send them cookies on Christmas don't mean they know shit about you. They don't know what's going on in your personal life. They don't know what's going on in your house. Just like it was stated that my son never went outside. Oh, because my son didn't walk the streets and wasn't in any kind of, like trouble going out buying drugs and doing things. Like, first off, you wasn't in my life every day. You have no idea. The people who were and do matter were there. You wasn't invited to my son's birthday party. Sorry about that. You were a neighbor, not somebody that was actually family. There's a difference. Sorry, not sorry. Like, hey, you don't know that I spent over $200 on a freaking, he had a battery operated car he would ride out in the yard in. He had a whole entire swing set in the front yard. We did Easter egg hunts every year. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You couldn't see in my front yard, stupid, because there was trees blocking it. I love when people make up good lies that make no common sense. Hey, Freeside. Hey, love. I don't know why every time I see your name, Freeside, I be thinking to the, from the west side to the east side. I don't know why, but it does. I don't know why. I just think of that song. Every time. I don't know why. Like, a lot of these liars like to make up lies that actually make no common sense. Here's another commonality. My son, and it specifically stated he had braces on his legs. Yes, my son did have braces on his legs. He has cerebral palsy. He has mild cerebral palsy. And he wore those for years until he had surgery where he didn't have to wear them anymore. Don't you think if my son had any issues whatsoever, I would have done been called on, because my son went to different kind of therapies, like 6 different therapies and different doctors and, specialists. Duh. Common sense. Hey, DC Kool-Aid. Hey, Miss Lisa. How y'all doing this morning? Y'all gonna be doing any more cooking shows? Or I noticed that y'all had went on a vacation thing the other day. I've been seeing some of y'all stuff. And I did watch your live, Twin Mama, from the other night. I'm bad about catching your replay gang. Cause I be asleep. And I've been having to deal with that pain in my jaw this week. But you look so cute, Twin Mama. I love your new background, with the like green screen thing and jigger stuff and all that. And it's so cute. You got your setup looking good, girl. I gotta get me a setup. That's why I don't turn on my camera right now, because child, right now I ain't got no lighting. Like, I want my shit to look right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get me a better camera, because all I have right now on the camera wise is the camera that's on my laptop, and it's not the best. Y'all know the built-in cameras ain't the best. Y'all want to get an exterior camera because they look better. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna set up your live stream, you want it to look cute. I got to get my little computer room set up eventually. I ain't had time yet. There's been a lot going on between his mom and daddy moving down, their house getting built, and all this other stuff. It's a lot. So I ain't had time, child. I ain't had time. It's been one thing after another. This week, we do go to the specialist on the 10th. Well, it's next week, technically, on the 10th. To see about my son's liver stuff and see what the liver specialist wants to do. So we do go on the 10th. I think that we're just probably going to be in a wait and watch procedure to see if the enzymes are going down. I believe we're going to be in a wait and watch procedure. And I don't know at this point. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to need any more testing or any more done or anything else, I don't know. I won't know until I see him. I just know that a lot of the tests came back one way or another, but it's like it points to nothing. So I'm like, whatever. Um, but no, I was trying to tell folks that precious time is precious and take every moment you got. Like twin mama, them babies you got right there, them babies are gorgeous, and every moment that you spend with them and make those memories. See, here's the thing. Those same people who like to lie about folks, twin mama, when you pass away, when I pass away, so on and so forth, we're gonna have people who remember us and cry and mourn us and miss us and love us and remember us, right? The sad part about those people, they're not going to have anybody to cry about them, mourn them, or even be upset that they're gone. There's going to be people celebrating. I don't think I would want that. I'm just saying, that's my personal opinion. Like I was trying to tell Miss Candace, people mourn Mr. David. People miss him, loved him. He is remembered by many. He has a legacy. There's a lot of people who do the same things who don't have that. And or they're so evil in their real life and so hateful to other people that people won't even be upset if something happens to them. That when 10 years goes down the road, nobody's going to remember them or care. Hold on just a minute. But no, that's the point about these people. So that's why they don't really matter if you think about it. And what they say don't matter. That's why my ignore 'em game been on point. I ain't heard a thing. I don't care about a thing they say about me. Because I know when I leave this world in the future, I'm gonna have people who miss me, who champion me, who talk about how good of a person I was, all these other things, and be at my funeral and crying and shit. Are they really gonna have that? No, there's gonna be people celebrating and making. The only people that's gonna go to that funeral just to make sure they really passed away. That's sad. That's sad. In 10 years' time, nobody will remember a damn thing you did. Nothing you did will be remembered whatsoever. And if you are remembered, it's going to be for bad things. Your legacy is that you have bad things about you. You're not going down for the good things and the charitable and things that you've done in your life. You're going to go down in history as a villain, a bad person. And you're okay with that. You're okay with being remembered as a terrible human being. That's the difference. That's the difference between us and them. If you think about it, they're okay being remembered that way. When people write books about the past, either their name's not going to be in the book, or if it is even named, it's not going to be good things that are said. It's not going to be good things that are written about. Like, think about it like that. Would you rather go down in history as a good person or a terrible person that's like Hitler? I don't think I want my name associated with that bullshit. I'm glad I won't be going down in the history books as that person. That's even if they're remembered, because they think they're so much more than what they are. The oversense of self and the oversense of worth. You're not famous. You don't have millions of subscribers. You will never be famous doing the shit that you're doing. It's never going to work. It's not going to happen. Point blank, period. Do I have an oversense of self that I will ever be famous? No, I will never be famous. I'm just chilling with my 5, 6, 7, 8 people. I'm cool with that shit. Okay? Do I ever think I'm going to get those millions of subscribers? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. Hey, Shaker, 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 Shaker. I hope you had a good birthday, girl. I know I told you entirely too much even during the week when it wasn't your birthday. But I thought just in case, because I was going to have my tooth worked on, Shaker, I thought just in case I wasn't able to tell you myself, at the time. That's why I kept telling you early, was just in case I didn't see you or something. I wanted you to know that I didn't forget. I knew exactly what day your birthday was. I didn't forget. Like I be telling folks sometimes the whole week of their birth, they born week, the whole weekend. Like I'm just saying it, the whole weekend, because I want them to know they're celebrated. Like I'm glad you was born, Shaka Shaka, and you should come on camera more, Shaka. You are pretty. I know that people be hating and whatnot, but girl, you pretty. Your skin is flawless. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got a mar one. You know what I mean? Some folks want you to have it, but you ain't got. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be like all messed up and shit, but you ain't, because they get mad because they can't take your voice. They don't. They don't like that you tell them the truth, even though the truth is the truth. They don't like hearing it because it hurts sometimes. The truth hurts. And that's what I love about you, Shaker. Same thing with Jay Dizzle, you, a lot of y'all that people can't handle. It's because y'all just tell it like it is and you don't have a filter, and folks don't like that shit. I like it. Let me tell you why I like it. Because I know if Room Shaker got a problem with me, she gonna tell me. And she gonna tell me point blank period what the problem is so that we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like people like that. I love people like that. That's why you think I love VS like I do. Because VS gonna tell me. If we got a problem, VS gonna come straight to me and she go, Charlie, this is the problem. We need to talk about this shit. And she gonna tell me point blank period how she feel. And I like that. I like people who don't sugarcoat shit. They tell you how they feel to your face. You ain't got to guess with them. That's why I like Twin Mama. Because no matter if Twin Mama is pissed or whatnot, she gonna tell you how she feel to your face. She ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. She ain't gonna roundabout way it. She gonna tell you point blank period. I like people like that because I know where I stand with you. I don't like people that do the shit where they go, well, I have a problem with somebody, but I ain't telling who it is. Because then you have to guess if they got a problem with you or not. I don't want to guess. Tell me point blank period to my face. So I can either work on it, we can move past it, we can talk about it, or we could just cut each other off and be done with it. That's the way I feel about shit. If you don't like me, just straight up tell me. Like point blank period. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Like, I like people that are in your face about it. They're going to tell you. I don't like people who sugarcoat shit. Because that shit right there leaves you guessing and you don't know where you stand with them. You don't know, like, if they just being nice to be nice. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about some of the group, Twin Mama, over there at Mr. Fumbles, and I like about Miss Betty and Miss Danielle. Now I know Miss Betty's not necessarily confrontational, but if she got something to say, she gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? I know some people ain't confrontational. I get that part, but I'm talking about like if you got something to say, they gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Ah, look at him being all sweet and shit. Y'all see him being all sweet and shit? Oh, also, happy birthday to Twin Mama's 3 babies. And girl, you're going to be celebrating all month long. See, my birthday next month, and we are going to have a celebration. My birthday is August 11th of next month. So I'll be a whole 38 years old. And that's what I was talking about, them people over on the other side, too. A lot of them people are old enough to be my mama, my daddy, and my grandparents. And they acting like they in their 20s and teenagers and acting like they in high school still. I'm like, have y'all not growed up at all? Like, y'all act like little children. I am only 30 years old and I'm more mature in my pinky finger than a lot of y'all. That is sad. That is straight up sad. Think about that shit in retrospect, Twin Mama. Like, we're younger than a lot of those people, right? And you know which ones I'm talking about. They old enough to be our grandparents' ages. And they acting like 2-year-old kids. That is super sad. When you ain't growed up past high school or junior high. That's just super sad when you continue to act that way into your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm like, damn, when do you ever grow up? Do you never get matured? Like, what happened here? I need to have a talk with Jesus. I'm gonna say this, twin mama. I was not expecting when you sent me that beautiful picture of them babies. Them babies are gorgeous. Girl. Girl. I would have them boys in pageants. I'm just saying, I would be showing off my babies to everybody. I'd be like, these is my babies. Look how pretty they are. You ain't that old, twin mama. If you say you a certain age, I swear to God, we're gonna be fighting. Cause I won't believe you. Actually, I think um, Miss Beth is the oldest in the group that I know of so far. I think it is Miss Beth. And Miss Beth looks gorgeous for her age. And I would have never guessed that Miss Beth was her age. I still want to fight with her over that. I still want to fight with her over that. You ain't no 59. Shit. Twin mama, you look good as fuck. They sitting there talking shit about you and you like look way younger than, oh my God. You know what's bad, twin mama? Think about it like this. You older than some of them other women and look way younger. What happened to them? That's what I want to know. Did they get hit by the ugly stick all the way down the tree and the old stick? See, I may be able to take care. Yeah, Miss Beth and Miss Joy, I believe they are the you know, and I love them to death. But here's the thing: did they get hit by the ugly stick all the way down? Because here's the thing: I can fix being fat, but can they fix being ugly? I don't think so. You know, I can fix my chubby cheek syndrome. I can get skinny anytime I choose to, right? But can they fix being ugly? I don't think so. They look like some of them bitches look like they got masks on for Halloween all the time. All the time. You know, I think that's why they be hating on Miss Danny and Miss Betty so much because they're pretty. I'm just saying. Hey, Miss Angela, how you doing this morning? And I'm gonna tell you something, Miss Angela. A way that they can't take down, like if you want to do a charitable thing for your nephew, don't post the link here. I would say get a separate PayPal or a separate Cash App that's not just your personal one, right? And raise the funds that way and then donate it and show a picture that you donated it. Or don't do that at all because then people might try to say you scammed and you didn't. But you know what? Fuck them, Miss Angela. Fuck those people who tried to mess up something you was doing for a charitable thing. So they can go straight to hell. Oh, yay, the fundraiser's back up. Awesome. Fuck those people. Okay. Awesome sauce. Because here's the thing, you took a negative event that happened to you. And Miss Angela, I want to say this, where they're trying to say that you attacked somebody's family. No, you never attacked anybody's family. The only thing, Miss Angela, that I have seen you do is defend yourself. And it ain't even in a bad way. You're just defending yourself with people's real words and their truth and what they've been saying. You ain't even been spreading no lies, no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You've been spreading the truth and they don't like the truth. The truth is that man did get up there and make fun of your special nephew. And here's the thing, just because he's quadriplegic also does not mean that he is not of sound mind. Because that means you're not, you know, physical disabilities are different. But, you know, people who make fun of anybody, I'm going to say this. What they're putting out, Miss Angela, and I've said this countless times, is going to come back to them 10 times fold. What you put out comes back to you. And the evil that they're spreading, when it hits, I'm just hoping that nobody that's innocent around them gets the blowback. Because, yes, he's very much of sound mind. Just because you have a physical disability does not mean that you're not intelligent. Because my son has cerebral palsy, mild cerebral palsy. It has not affected his intelligence whatsoever. In fact, he's above and beyond. He's going to college for robotics. That's one of the things he said. Um, he's still debating between robotics and electrical engineering. But anyway, um, hey, a TNW logger. He don't intimidate nobody. I'm gonna tell you this. He likes to go after women because he thinks we're the easier targets. But what he don't realize is that some of us women could knock him the fuck out. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying, twin mama. I wouldn't stand too close to him, cause that karma blowback, it gonna be real. And I wouldn't want to be too. I wouldn't want to be too close. I wouldn't want to be too close to them people, cause when that blowback from karma hits that ass, I'm just hoping that no innocent bystander gets the blowback too. Because here's the thing, sometimes the way that karma gets your ass is it hurts the people you love the most. And I just don't wish that on those innocent people, if that makes sense. The ones who ain't got shit to do with it. I'm hoping that it don't do that, but it does sometimes. Like innocent children and innocent people in their life. Sometimes karma blowback does that shit. And I hope to God that it hits them and not the innocents around them. That's the only thing that I pray. Innocent people don't deserve that shit. And it's just like, here's the thing. Half the shit they're wishing on people, like wishing for Kaylee's brain surgery and stuff and laughing at it like it's funny. What if that happened to them? What if that happens to one of their family members, their mother, their father, their cousin, their innocent niece and nephew, well, innocent children around them? How would they feel for somebody to be on the internet laughing about that? The karma, when it hits, and laughing about dead people and innocent children who may or may not be here with us, because there's a lot of missing children and families that passed away and people's loved ones that are no longer here. That karma gonna get you. And when it does, you know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that it just don't hit nobody innocent near you. And we all know it tends to do that. But I'm not like those people, and I'm not going to wish those evil things upon people. I don't wish cancer on nobody. I don't wish bad things like that to happen to people. I don't wish brain surgery or brain infections on anybody, because that could have turned deadly. Thank you, God, Miss Kaylee is still here standing with us today. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, God, that so many people that they've wished these bad things on are still here with us and doing the damn thing. The crazy part, Miss Angela, is that he acts like I've been around for a very long time, and a lot of people don't know. I've only been around for a very short time. I've been here for about, in this sector, and had met that person about 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, somewhere around that area. My YouTube 1 year will be coming up for me being a content creator in about a month and a half, 2 months. So I didn't meet that person until about 5 months after, or 4 months after I become a content creator. Because I was in my own little world. You know, when you're in your own little sector of YouTube and you're just chilling. Oh Lord, he's coming after us again, twin mama. What kind of lies gonna be told this time? I wonder what lies is gonna be said. I mean, they're gonna say that my child's an incest child, and they're gonna make fun of him again. Oh Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Oh Lord, my son's not educated. How can my dumbass, ugly redneck self educate someone? I don't have education, y'all. I live in an abandoned property. All kind of bad things. Ooh. Not knowing that I actually went to college and have a college education, but I'm not college educated at all. Hey, the hood table, twin mama. We all live in Fumble's yard. We all live in Fumble's yard. Didn't you know that? I done told Fumble we're going to have to make a rave in his yard. That's going to be fun. I miss you. Oh, I was so glad to hood table to see Choreo Lover. I was so glad to see her in chat yesterday, girl. You don't know how happy I was to see Choreo Lover. I missed her so much and was worried. He is funny. I love when he does the feeble stuff, and I love when Watcher Crazy does the Geraldine stuff. Those are funny skits. Now you talking about funny, right? Those skits is funny. Ooh, oh, I wonder if it really is somebody's mom or it's just some random person he contacted. Because you know, a lot of times that is the thing. A lot of times it is very, very well the thing. And here's the thing: even if, let's say, it is somebody's mom, let's say that person's mama is an abusive asshole. What is that really going to accomplish? But you're talking to someone who really don't like, they've cut the person off out of their life. There's also that possibility. You know what I'm saying? I know it ain't me. So if he tries to claim it's me, that's a lie. Cause my mama's right in there, and trust me, I could be like, "What you, what?" No, my mama wouldn't talk to him with a 20-foot pole. So I don't know who he's trying to do. But even if, let's say, it was somebody we know, uh, how do you know that person's not a bad person? Also, but here's the thing: how many times have we heard that there's supposed to be this interview that never happens, Twin Mama? How many interviews that are supposed to happen never happen? I know. I've heard of at least about 10 of them. I forgot who that one person they were supposed to interview was, and they never did. It never happened. I mean, how many fake? It's just they're trying to drum up viewers for their show, but nobody's going. That's the point. That's how they trying to drum up viewership. Do you know what's sad? That docs they did on me only had 4 likes. Like, couldn't I get more likes for my docs? Just saying. That's how many people was watching that whole thing, was maybe 10, 15 people. Bruh, I know content creators over here who pull thousands. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Twin Mama. And I don't, me myself and I'm not watching. I know, right? Supposed to be. See, I don't call him a grown ass man. I call him a little boy because mentally he's the age of a damn middle schooler. Because that's what middle schoolers would do, right? That's what little 7th and 8th graders would do. I wouldn't even say that's high school age kids. I would say that he's got the the IQ of a child in 7th grade or 8th grade. The emotional intelligence of a 7th or 8th grade kid. He has no emotional intelligence if you think about it. I would say a boy, not a man. Men don't act like that. Real men don't attack women. A real man don't act like that. And a real man don't run from his smoke like a little bitch. A real man's ready at all times. I'm just saying, he run from his smoke like a little bitch. Somebody pulled his card quite a few times. It ain't just been one person, it's been multiple people. And he run like a little bitch every time. Real men don't hide from their smoke. Oh yeah, you totally need to be there, Twin Mama. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so they're I'm gonna guess, Twin Mama, we all know who it's gonna be about. And I can guess it now and say that he's gonna try to say it's about Miss Betty. Wanna bet me money? Want to bet me money? You want to put a $5 bet on her, twin mama? He been stuck on her recently. And I think it's because Miss Betty never hit on him, and I think it's because he wants Miss Betty, like, because she's pretty and shit. I think. That's just my personal opinion. He's been stuck on her recently. Like, real, like, stuck on her. Like, I think that's what it's going to be about. That's just my personal opinion. Because he's been, like, wanting to be all her attention. And it seems like he has a crush on her. And like the little boy in the schoolyard that goes and pulls the little girl's hair and then runs away. It seems like that's what he's trying to do to Miss Betty for some reason. Like, because she don't like him, he's trying to, like, mess around with her because of that. It's like he does it. What I've noticed is that when the pretty women don't give him attention, that's what he does. Like, he really hates it when pretty women don't give him attention. I really think that's why he be hating so hard. I really do. Think about it like that. Think about what women are surrounding him. They not pretty. And if they are pretty on the outside, because I will say a few of them are pretty on the outside, they're ugly on the inside, which makes them ugly. I will say a couple of them are not ugly. They are pretty. I would say a couple of them. I'm not going to say all of them. I'm going to say a couple. And I ain't going to name who. I'm just saying. But some of them bitches are so ugly, I swear to God. I don't know what happened to them. Jesus, take the wheel. I'm going to pray for them. Bless their little heart. I'm going to pray for them. They need Jesus. And Miss Angela, you are gorgeous inside and out. Don't you ever let nobody make you feel no different. And twin mama, the way they be talking about you, girl, you think you was ugly as hell. You turn on your camera, you're like, what? Twin mama's pretty as hell. Got a beautiful head of hair. And see, I think that's why he also be hating on some of us women. Twin mama, it's because we got pretty heads of hair and he wished he had hair. Because he's a bald head, scallywag. Ain't got no hair in back. Weaved up, jacked up. His stuff is messed up. I swear to God, look like some shit that should be on roadkill. Look like somebody hit him and hit him again with a Mack truck. Look like they've been hit by the ugly stick so many damn times that the ugly stick broke and the ugly stick gave up and said, I can't do it no more. They beyond ugly. I can't even do it no more. The ugly stick said, fuck it, man. Even the ugly stick ran away. You know it's bad when the ugly stick can't even stand to be there. I can fix my fat, but can you fix your ugly? I can fix my fat, but can you, and I can fix my situation. Can you fix yours? No. But he always be telling us, so I think the reason, if you listen to half his lies, it's projections. It's projections. He lives in a camper trailer that is falling to pieces, that's nasty as hell, that ain't no good, right? And never had a damn a pot to piss in his life. So he puts that projection on everybody else. Everything in his life that he's fucked up with, and all of them, they project it onto other people. Pay attention. It's projection. You jump in that shower, girl. I'm going to roast the shit out of them. And we got to do that roast-a-thon one day on members only. I know I've been saying it, but we got to do it. We got to do the members only roast-a-thon. We going to make fun of everybody equally. See, that's the thing. That's the thing that people don't understand is when I did that roast-a-thon that day, I hurt somebody's feelings so bad that they had to dox me. That tells you how bad you can hurt somebody's feelings about their looks. If they care about their looks that damn much. Something so superficial. Here's the thing. You care about something so superficial as your looks. That means you ain't got a life, baby. It was so superficial. I ain't seen your ass back on these YouTube streets. Superficial as fuck. That's all you care about is your looks? You don't have nothing else in this world to care about? Call me fat, baby. I don't care. Say I'm ugly. Ooh, oh, you hurt my feelings. Not really. I don't give a fuck about that shit. You understand? That's superficial shit. It's all superficial. I got more real life things that I love and care about than my fucking looks. Looks mean nothing. They can be gone tomorrow. And if that's really what bothers you, you got a fucking mental issue and need to fix that shit. Real quick, like. Real quick, like. Because you should care more about other things than your looks in this lifetime. Because looks mean nothing. You should care about your family. You should care about your animals. You should care about other people. You know what I'm saying? You should have empathy and sympathy and love and all the good, nice things and be a good person and not a piece of shit person. How about that? How about actually do something with your life instead of being a failed failure? Because technically, that's all you are, is a failure. And you think you're a winner, but baby, you can win those stupid prizes. I don't care. Be a winner. Say you won. Oh my God, you won. Oh, What did you really win? What did you really accomplish? Tell me your accomplishments in life, because you don't have none. You think you have accomplishments, but really, what did you accomplish? Did, let's say, I graduated high school, went to college, raised a child who is now fixing to be a grown man, who's fixing to go into college, taking care of my family, made sure that they're straight for the rest of their life, taking care of those that I love and care about. I have friendships that have been going on for 30, 40 years, quite a lot of them, actually. I'm going to be remembered as a good person. I have accomplishments that go beyond just looks, that go beyond bullshit. A lot of accomplishments in life. So what are yours? The fact that you are failed in life, you failed as a human being, you're a piece of shit who nobody likes. People hate watch you. That really makes you a good, like, Oh Lord, not some people said that JT is the prettiest woman in the community. Now I say, if Mr. Richie April, if he put on a good wig and we got him in a dark room and we were all drunk and put a lot of makeup on him, maybe we could say that he's the prettiest woman in the room. He's still prettier than some of the women that are on his side. Because some of them bitches ugly as hell. And that's sad, saying that JT's the prettiest woman in that crowd. That's sad. Tell me I ain't wrong. We could put a wig on him and, he's still prettier than some of them bitches. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. Hey, Mr. Jim Connington, the only Jim, the best Jim that ever was. I mean, think about it like that. To say that an ugly ass dude is prettier than you, that's a saying. Oh, Lord. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. But we'd all have to get drunk, Mr. Richie April, and then we'd have to be one of those situations. You know when men say they wake up beside a woman where they want to chew their arm off, and they don't want to wake up beside it. That would be that kind of situation. Now I've heard it through the grapevine that on the back pages, you know what I'm saying, that somebody keeps their their profile on there so that they can attract men and women. And I've heard it through the grapevine. That's just my hearing it. I heard it through the grapevine. How much longer will you be mine, honey, honey, honey? I've heard. Now this is just my hearing, y'all. I got to tell y'all something. I heard it through the grapevine that some people like to be lot lizards, and they like to go to truck stops and pick up men and get phone numbers off of bathroom stalls so that they can talk to random individuals, because that's the only way they get any kind of human touch. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that's the only way a motherfucker will touch them. And they have to sleep with ex-porn stars who they can't even really do much for. That's what I heard. Now, I did hear that somebody can't be around somebody's kids, too. And I was like, what? I didn't even know that person had kids, but oh Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Why you can't be around kids, child? I ain't never been told I couldn't be around a child. I ain't never did nothing bad to a kid. What the hell did you do? Why you banned? That's just that makes me question some things and look at you a little funny and look at you sideways. That makes me side eye you a little bit. I mean, it could be just because you're a piece of shit human, which I would understand. But can't even be around your girlfriend's kids. That makes me look at you sideways. I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I've heard it through the grapevine. That's just my personal opinion that you're a piece of shit. But I mean, that's also the truth. So that ain't a rumor. So we can confirm that that is the truth and that is not a lie. That you're a piece of shit. It's been proven without a shadow of a doubt. And the church say amen. But you know, people like that, they get their just desserts eventually anyway. If it's not you, and it may not be in the time frame that you think, I've always said it's not a win. It's not a if, it's a win. Right? So it's not if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. Just like this situation with the Angel Gotti show, all y'all who love Angel or did like Angel, or still do somewhat, and the situation that's going down over there right now, it's not a if that's going to blow up, it's a when that's going to blow up. Because history repeats itself. That's one thing we can learn from history, is that history repeats itself. What the person did 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, will happen again. It's just a matter of when. I just hope I got my popcorn ready. That's all I want. I want my popcorn ready. I want to be able to watch it blow up in somebody's face, and I'm going to laugh about it. And I hope everybody else is there to get a good chuckle out of it. I want you to all get you a good little chuckle. You know what I'm saying? Have you a good old funny time. Laugh at the bullshit. You know, and somebody who messes with children and innocent people, they get theirs. Their just desserts always come back. Because they're going to mess with the wrong one and a person going to snap and go crazy. And that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. It really, people playing these dangerous games. I mean, we just saw in New Jersey, I mean, not New Jersey, but in Vegas, we just saw what happened there. And that can happen in Ohio, that can happen in Florida, that can happen in Alabama, that can happen in Tennessee, you know, that could happen anywhere, right? If a person lives close and they know where you at, they don't mind making that drive. You know, these internet games can get you in a world of hurt, a world of crazy. And talking about beating up women and fighting women, but you won't fight a real man, that don't make you a man. Like, you're ready to fight a woman, but won't fight a real man. I've seen this too many times. Like, in different sectors, I've seen this. This is a generalized statement. So if you feel that the shoe fits, wear it. But if it don't apply, let it fly. If you are more willing to fight a woman and you are a man, you are not a man. You are a boy. Because real men don't attack women. Real men do not do that. Now, they may tell her to go sit the fuck down somewhere or something like that, but they're not willing to swing on a woman. Not unless she swings first, which is a little different. But real men ain't going to swing on a woman. They're not going to physically want to fight a woman. They may call out a woman's bullshit when she's talking shit and she's lying, but they're not willing to and wanting to fight a woman all the time and telling a woman to pull up. Why would you tell a woman, if you are a man, to pull up and not tell another man who is reading your ass for filth every day, but you're going after the women instead of the men. That makes no sense to me. It also makes no sense to me how they run from smoke from men. Like, I see a lot of men right now standing up and standing firm and being real men, and they're being ignored because the person doesn't want to actually talk to real men. They want to go after women because they think we are weaker. Believe we weaker all you want to. And yes, physically, I may be weaker than you because I am a woman, but that don't mean mentally I'm weaker than you, and that don't mean I won't pick up something to level the playing field, baby. That don't mean I won't throw dirt in your eye and kick your knees out from under you, because my daddy always taught me the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So don't think I won't kick your knees out from under you. I'm not the woman. I'm just telling you that one. I'm not that one, and I'll tell you, not welcome at my house. You better not pull up, because I'll do what God told me to do, and I do what Mississippi law says I can do to protect me and mine. Mm-hmm. And the church will be singing over you the very next moment. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? If you have a church funeral, because I pretty much doubt it. Probably whole church burned down if you walked in that mofo. Lightning starts striking everywhere. You know, Jesus be crying. You ain't even asked for forgiveness for all the shit you done. You ain't living right by God. We all know that. You ain't living right by God. Don't have a holy bone in your body for be doing the shit that you doing. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I would never do that shit. I may joke around, I may roast, I may gag, but I don't talk about your family or innocent people that have nothing to do with it. Don't do that. I don't drag children because it's not they're innocent. I don't bother people's disabled family members. That's fucked up. Even making fun of disabled people's fucked up. And you sitting there doing it thinking it's cute. It's not cute, nor is it not. It's not funny. You're not Howard Stern. It's not working. Switch up. Do something different. Like, here's the sad point. Technically, I'm going to say this. If a person did switch up their behavior and decided to actually do real things, there's a lot that they could do that people would actually enjoy from them, and they could build an audience of people who like them. But because they've done their names so dirty and done such terrible things, I don't think they'll ever be able to run away from the negativity of their past. The negativity. I don't have that negativity. As you know, when you did that interview, the person told you, no, I never dated her. No, she never ran the streets. No, she didn't sleep around. She wasn't a whore. Because I wasn't. By choice. I could have been. Because any woman can be. Even the ugliest woman that you think is the ugliest woman in the world, she could still be a hoe. Because a lot of dudes don't care. You know what I'm saying? They could still be one. A lot of dudes are willing to stick their D in anything. That's why I be telling my male friends sometimes, don't stick your dick in crazy. Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Like, watch what you do when you play with women's emotions and their feelings. Because you might end up meeting a crazy one, and that bitch might become a fatal attraction. And watch yourself. Watch yourself. You know, show me what you're working with. Don't make, you know, sit there and chill. You know, you ain't got to do all that. Even the ugliest dudes can still get play. You know what I'm saying? Even the ugliest dudes can still get play. They can still get women. They can still pull them. Same thing for women. They can pull them too. So it don't matter when you talk about somebody's looks. Looks don't matter when it comes to that situation. Anybody could be a hoe if they choose to. And don't make fun of hoes, because some hoes is my best friends. I have to vicariously live through my hoe friends because I chose not to be one. I don't qualify. But if I wanted to be, I could have been a damn good one. So if you're going to do it well. And if you're going to get paid big. Don't do it. That's what I tell my hoe friends. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a well paid hoe. Be well paid. Get your money, honey. Don't let nobody tell you not to. Don't be no fool. And the sad part is that certain people with certain names could have done so much more and been up there with the thousands, like the people with millions of subscribers and stuff, if they had just stayed out of the drama. Drama does sell, yes, but only to a certain extent. There's so much more you could do, so much more you could accomplish, but you chose to stay in the shit, and that's not going to ever build you to but to a certain point, and then you're going to stay stagnant. Because when people come in and they're new and they don't know what you're talking about, they're going to move on to the next person and the next person and the next person, right? I see it happening all the time. If you're planning or wanting to build this into a business, right? I'm going to give some advice today on Therapy Thursday. First, if you're going to be in drama, don't stay in it long. Stay in it for a little while, here and there. Build up, have talking points, have content that people enjoy. Find your niche, whether it be true crime, mental health, whether it be, if you're talking about mob related things, you can rise up in the mob tube genre. You can actually start doing interviews with people and making it educational and all these things. Like, there's so much content that you could make, reading books, doing book reviews, movie reviews, etc., etc. Hold on just a minute.
Will see that, and people will like, even if it isn't a lot, it doesn't always, you don't have to be pulling in 100,000 views a video, but you just have to be making things that you're proud of, that you enjoy making.
That's very true, son.
Whether it is food or building robots, you will find your voice the instant you feel so in love with what it brings out of you.
That's just what I'm telling folks. Do the thing that you enjoy, and people will come. It may take time to build it. Yes, drama will bring an instantaneous crowd, but it won't be sustainable. That's what I'm saying, is that find your niche, find the thing that you're nerdy about, find the thing that you enjoy and you love to speak about, right? And you can grow from there. It may be a slow process. Like, you're not going to blow up right away unless you just so happen to go viral or something like that happens. So it's going to be a slow process of building your platform, building your people and your crowd. And remember your A1 day ones. Don't throw away your A1 day ones. Don't do that. That is the biggest mistake that I see a lot of people do. The people who were with you when you barely had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, always remember them for being there when nobody else was. And as you build and stuff like that, and more people will come as you do your regular content and what you enjoy doing. Don't forget those people, right? And if you can help build them up with you, if they're also content creators, do that. Build your community, build the people around you. There's enough love to go around, and there's enough content to be made, right? And that's why, the Hood Table, BS Icon, the Beef Sector itself, I will never forget any of those that helped build me up. You know what I'm saying? Never. They spread my channel. They helped me. You know what I'm saying? So I will never forget. I will never forget, Twin Mama, Mr. Buster, Mr. Jim Coddington. How many times Mr. Jim Coddington has gifted memberships in my chat? How many times, Miss Justice has helped me reach my goal? I'll never forget. How many times, I can just keep naming names of, and Room Shaker for always supporting me. You know what I'm saying? I could just keep naming names of people who I consider my A1 day ones. You get what I'm saying? That never forgot, that never, even if I don't see them every single day, I will never forget you for all the conversations that we've had, all the things like Miss CFM Queen, the conversations we've had on Wellness Wednesday, Watcher of Crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just so many good people that I've just gotten to cross into their lives and so on forth into mine. I'll never forget y'all, and I don't understand how anyone could cuss out or treat their A1 day ones like crap. Those people were there for you in the very beginning. And that's another problem I see on here is that people will turn on their actual supporters or treat them like shit. And here's the thing, without y'all, what are we content creators? We're nothing. We're talking to the four walls. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Buster, for some reason, I read that in Val Venus. Every time you say that, I read that in Val Venus's thing. Hello, ladies. Every time I see you post that in chat, I think of that. I think of hello, ladies, every single time. Y'all know that's another thing about wrestling. I was just thinking about the Attitude Era. We will never see anything like the Attitude Era ever again. When it comes to like WCW, WWF, we will never see the Attitude Era again because they can't do it again. See, if you think about the Attitude Era, they did a lot of stuff that was extremely dangerous. Think about how they jumped off those rafters and jumped off those really high things and landed on tables and glass and all these different things. The insurance companies wouldn't even cover it anymore. How's your puppies doing today, Mr. Buster? You know I love the animals. I love animal talk. Mine are asleep right now, being pitiful. I got me 2 brand new pillows yesterday too. I got me a body pillow so I can like cuddle with because I like those body pillows because I'm a side sleeper, so it helps me like I hug onto the body pillow. But I got me one yesterday, and I needed to replace my pillow, so I got me some brand new ones, and whatnot. Oh, she's so adorable. I don't know if I saved it or not, Mr. Buster. But oh my god, she can make anybody's day brighter. I got it right here. Hold on. Let me just download and we can have a cute puppy moment, okay? Cause why not? You know? Cause cute puppy moment. Look at this pretty baby. Look at this pretty baby. Look at her just sitting there chilling. Look at her. Ain't she the cutest thing? She just is so, Mr. Buster, she is so like photogenic. Like, just look. See, look at her. Ain't she the most adorable thing? She was just having her a fun old time. Just all in the water. Like, I'm chilling. For real though. It's hot. And so I'm chilling. It's hot in this heat. I'm chilling. Ain't she the most adorable thing ever? I would totally give her all the treats and spoil the crap out of her. She is super adorable. And Mr. Buster, I still can't believe that you made the hater list above me. And I need to see the new hater list to see if I made top 10. I doubt it, but it'd be cool. I still can't believe that American Honey was on the list before me and Miss Verdita and like the sweetest people ever. I'm like, how'd y'all make the list before I made the list? I put myself on the list. She's so cute, ain't she? She's super adorable. I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to say this right now. No matter how much of a bad day you're having, don't animals just make the world go by? Just amazing. I'm so glad, though, I'll say this, that certain people don't have animals because they, oh my God. Could you imagine how bad they treat people and how bad they treat animals? Oh my God. That's another thing that lets you know. Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. I don't know how she went back to him because the minute he would have talked about my daughter like that and her in the hospital and my grandbaby could have passed away, no, bro. I'd never be able to be cool with you. That's a line you don't cross, and he crossed it, and I don't know how she could be cool with that. How can you be cool with someone after they talk crap about your child who could have passed away? Like, the things that he said, and I heard the video, were abhorrent, were terrible. How? Like, I wouldn't even do that to fit in. That's the sad part. Is a lot of these people are taking this abuse just so they can fit in. I don't need to fit in like that. I do not. And they act like they're, the Mean Girls, like the Mean Girls movie. They want to be a part of the plastic so bad they're willing to take abuse. And the sad part is they're not even that popular to even be like that kind of popular. Yeah, Twin Mama, I heard there's a new list. I heard there's a new list. I don't know how true it is, but I heard there's a new list. And I don't know who's on it yet. And I don't know where they stand, but child, I need the new list so I can know what number I am. I ain't seen it yet, though. I ain't seen it yet. Show the new list so we can all have our numbers and we can make jerseys. Because we're going to make jerseys and we're going to call them the hater jerseys. And we're going to wear them out. The best jerseys ever. We're going to have a meetup and everybody's going to have their number on. We're going to have a rave in Mr. Fumble's front yard, y'all. But don't tell nobody about the super secret meetup that's happening next next June. Don't tell nobody about it, y'all. Or we may meet up in April, before it gets hot and shit. So don't tell nobody about the super secret meetup, y'all. And we're gonna wear our jerseys and stuff. Don't tell nobody, y'all. We're totally not gonna have a super secret meetup and wear our jerseys and numbers and stuff. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Love you too. I want to know what number I am now, Miss Joy. Yeah, we need to have our number jerseys, and don't tell nobody about the super secret meetup that we're gonna have next June or April. Don't tell nobody. We're totally not gonna have a super secret meetup, and we're totally not gonna be in Fumble's yard having a rave. So don't tell anybody. Shh, it's a secret. I want to know what I'm on, where I'm on the list. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say this: I would not be cool with anybody, be on a panel with anybody, be talking to anybody who had wished like death upon my grandchild, on my daughter, on my threatened my son and my hubby. I would not be cool with a person who did that to me. I would not be kissing their ass. Hell no. I'd rather be alone by my damn self than be doing some shit like that. I will never speak to a person who talked like that about my kid. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Just note that. And the person who tried to do that interview, fuck the horse they rode in on, and they better hope they never cross my path. That's all I got to say. Once you talk about my kid, bitch, you gonna wish I never knew who you was. You know what I'm saying? You gonna wish that you know, I ain't even gonna say. I ain't snitching on myself. See, some of these people be snitching on themselves. They stupid as hell. I ain't snitching on myself. I ain't gonna tell y'all what my left hand doing before my right hand know what I'm doing. Cause sometimes silence is golden. Y'all know I've said that. And if you snitch on yourself and you let somebody know your moves, they can prepare for your moves. Don't tell nobody so they can't prepare. That's the dumbest, damn, ironic, stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, Mr. Buster. That's the most dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. No, you know what that sounds like to me? Sounds like somebody knows a little something about somebody and they're afraid it's going to get out. Sounds like somebody had a big ass mouth and told a little too much of their business to somebody. Mm-hmm. And they don't want that shit to get out. Why in the world would you talk to a person behind the scenes that you know does that shit? Why would you tell them any information about yourself? That don't make no damn sense whatsoever. Like, they some dumbass people out in this universe. I do, the Great White Phantom. Yes, I do. I still mod for a lot of people. I mod for VS, Unapologetically Mika. I mod for Lolo. Trying to remember all the mod sticks I got, because you know sometimes I be forgetting. How you doing today, the Great White Phantom? I still mod for a lot of folk. But you know, I'm cool with everybody. I don't get into none of the mess or none of the fighting, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I stay out the beef, child. I be in the beef sector. But I don't be in the mess. I did hear it, Mr. Buster. Somebody played it. Somebody played it. But then went right back to it. I'm like, oh, that's some dumb shit right there. I ain't gonna be no fool. My mom and daddy didn't raise no fool. You got one time to disrespect me and my family, and I'm done. I'm OV. Especially my child. That's one thing. You disrespect my kid, it's over. I ain't cool. And I'll never be cool again. There's a lot of things I can forgive. There's a lot of things that I can get over. But there's certain lines you don't cross, and that would be one of them for me. I don't know how anybody could be cool with somebody who did that to them. I just don't get it. I never got it. When I saw that video and somebody showed it to me for the first time, Mr. Buster, I was flabbergasted that she was back over there. I was flabbergasted. I was like, why? Why? Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, after I heard exactly what he said to her, and then I heard what she said, and I'm like, why? I don't think I'll ever understand that one. Now, I will say, did y'all see what happened those in the beef sector? What went down over there with Code, Binary Code, and Diva Tomboyish? I saw that Resto and a lot of people were talking mess about Code. I'm going to say this. Code did the best thing for his job and his livelihood. he did the best thing. Now I'm gonna say this: he did the worst thing sometimes, being over here, being in the mess, knowing you got a good job, and you could lose it over this bullshit. If I had a bomb ass like government job, I would not be in the bullshit. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I wouldn't. We done seen too many people call too many people's jobs to be doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And if I give this to advice to anybody, if you got a bomb ass job and you're a content creator and you're in the drama, please talk to your job about it. So if they try to call, like, your job already knows that, the situation. So they're not, and it's just like, here's the thing about the situation where somebody, I knew that eventually I could be doxxed. I got that. That didn't really bother me, right? I knew that was a possibility. Everybody knows that's a possibility when this shit happens, right? It's always a possibility you can get doxxed. It's always a possibility somebody could, do something, right? So you got to tell those around you that are really around you not to take any calls from these motherfuckers, right? I'll go ahead and talk to them. Tell you people, right? Don't hide it from them, because then they could get blindsided, right? But make sure that you inform anybody around you that really knows you not to talk to these motherfuckers. What's crazy is when people call CPS on people. What's crazy is when people like take it offline. Now, that's my personal opinion. I don't like taking it offline, and I've not taken it offline with nobody. Even the people I don't like, I've not taken it offline with. They've taken it offline with me, right? But I've not taken it offline with them. There's a difference. I've not went to, I've not went and showed anything that I know I can. Now, I know I could go down low, and I have information, but I keep that shit to myself in case I ever need it in my back pocket. I'll tell you that one. Sometimes you got to keep a little ammo in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do. Got to keep a little ammo in your back pocket. Always remember that. Be smart. Don't be dumb. But that don't mean you have to stoop as low as someone else does. Unless you're pushed to that point. Now, I've been seeing them pushing certain people that ain't doing that, like Mr. MRE and different people, to that extreme. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to keep pushing and you're going to get what you want, and you ain't going to like it. Just like I tell people, there are certain bears you don't poke. Don't poke those bears. Don't go playing in those lions' dens with meat bathing suits on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be smart. There's certain people you can play with to a certain extent, and there's certain people you can't. I'm not scared of those people. I'm not. I'll tell you the ones I am, and it sure ain't the fuck them. It sure the hell ain't them. But like, I'm hoping that every one of you know that no matter what happens in this lifetime, that God has got you, right? I know that no matter what happens in this lifetime, that when you're a good person and you've got a good heart, good comes back to you. I know that sometimes bad things happen to good people, but realize when somebody's running around doing evil shit, it does come back to them. Karma's a bitch, and karma's the baddest bitch. Just like this situation, I know some people are upset with the Diddy, what happened with the Diddy trial and everything. And he's probably not going to get any time. I haven't seen the sentencing yet. But by what I know, there's such thing as time served. And he's been in there for 2 years, I believe, waiting on this trial. He could technically probably get time served and get out on his own recognizance or pay a bail. And there's also the possibility that he could just stay in there to get the time served, which would be a smart thing. And when sentencing comes up, because it won't be, but probably, I don't know when they set. Let me see when they set sentencing. because I don't know when they set the sentencing for. I don't know if they have even released the sentencing date yet. Let me look. Diddy denied bail to remain behind bars until sentencing. So Diddy himself wanted to stay behind bars until sentencing. See, that way he could possibly get time served. Prosecutors say Diddy can't be released after conviction on prostitute charges. Claim he faces. I got a damn ad pop up, y'all. Sorry about that. I don't know how to exit off this damn ad. It ain't got an X nowhere. Where the hell is that X? Okay, there it goes. Prosecutors say Diddy can't be released after conviction on prostitute charges. Claim he faces over 5 years at sentencing. Combs' defense team asked for him to be released on $1 million bond. Elated fans wave baby oil in the air after Diddy verdict. Diddy likely to be sentenced to months, not years. Expert, Diddy trial is most expensive prostitution trial in American history. Loud cheers ring out in courtroom. Diddy falls to his knees. I think one of the reasons that Diddy himself denied that he didn't want to pay that $1 million bond because sentencing won't be too long from now. They don't usually do sentencing too long. And if he stays in until sentencing, he can get time served. And if he gets time served, he won't face anything. Oh, Diddy didn't want to stay in jail. His attorneys were begging the judges to release him. So he was just denied bail. I'll say that. I see that too, Miss Joy, that a lot of those people, it's kind of like it's your just desserts. If you go back, here's my thing. A lot of people don't deserve it when it first happens, but then if you go back, it's your own damn fault anything that happens to you the second time. Right? If you go to a person and you know what kind of person they are, and you go in there and you kiss that ass and you kiss that ring, well, that's on you. Look up the Mann Act. Okay. Okay, here we go. The Mann Act, previously called the... Wait, hold on. It is original form made of felony to engage in interstate or foreign commerce transport of any woman or girl for the... Oh! It is primarily stated intent with their address prostitution, immorality, and human trafficking, particularly where trafficking was for the purpose of prostitution. It was one of several acts of protective legislative aimed at moral reform during the progressive era. In practice, in ambiguous language and immorality resulted in being used to criminalize even consensual sexual behavior between adults. It was amended in Congress in 1978 and again in 1986 to limit its application to transport for the purposes of prostitution or other illegal sexual acts. Let's see, what does... Let me go down. I'm going down the legal application. That's what I wanted to get to. Although the law was created to stop forced sexual slavery of women, the most common initial use of the Mann Act was to prosecute men for having sex with underage females. The phrase immoral purpose is the statute allowed a broad application of the law following the affirmation in Committee versus United States 242 U.S. 470, 1917, the authority of Congress to keep the channels of interstate commerce free from immoral and injurious uses has been frequently sustained and is no longer open to question. In addition to its stated purpose of preventing human trafficking, the law was used to prosecute unlawful premarital, extramarital, and interracial relationships The penalties would be applied to men whether or not the women involved consented, and if he had consented, the women could be considered an accessory to the offense. Some attribute enticement of the law to the case of world champion heavyweight boxer Jack Johnson. Johnson was known to be intimate with white women, some of whom he met at a fighting venue after the fights in 1912. He was prosecuted and later convicted for transporting women across state lines for immoral purposes. As a result of his relationships with a white prostitute named Bella Schreiber, the month prior to the prosecution, Johnson had been charged with violating the Mann Act due to traveling with his white girlfriend, Lucille Cameron, who refused to cooperate with the prosecution and whom he married soon thereafter. In 1948, prosecutors of Frank LaSalle for abducting Florence Sally Horner is believed to have been an inspiration for Vladimir Nabokov in writing the novel Lolita. Humbert, the narrator, at one point explicitly refers to LaSalle. The Mann Act has also been used in the U.S. federal government to prosecute polygamists, such as Mormon fundamentalists. Bigamy is illegal in the U.S., and all states have anti-polygamy laws. Colorado City, Arizona, Hilldale, Utah, Bountiful, British Columbia, northern Mexico are historic locations of several Mormon sects that practice polygamy. Although the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has expressly forbidden polygamy since the start of the 20th century, sect leaders and individuals have been charged under the Mann Act when wives are transported across the Utah-Arizona state line or the U.S., Canadian, or Mexican borders. Do you think he could get the Mann Act put on him? How many years does the Mann Act Hold on, y'all. Oh, so how many years? That's why no bond. Okay, on the sidelines, I got you. So how many years does that encompass? Let's see. Um, uh, I'm wondering how many. Because I'm sitting here looking if it shows like how many years they could be convicted for if it is the Mann Act. Come up here and sit down. Be good babies. How many years could you get for the Mann Act, though? That's the question. It's up to 10 years for each count of the Mann Act, so 20 years unless he's allowed to serve at the same time. Yeah, it depends on whether they do it concurrent, consecutive. It also depends. Well, see, with him being a first-time offender, it depends on if they make him serve the entire time, too. That's another thing that I was talking about that he could possibly. It depends on the judge at this point, right? Because there's a such thing as a first-time offender, and they tend to get out after like 10 to 12 months being behind bars. Depends on if they make him set the 80%. Also, if they did 80% of 10 years, that would be 8 years. Depends on if they do it concurrent or consecutive. So right now, it really does depend on the judge. So it to me, this is what it's going to depend on what the judge and whether the judge shows him leniency or not. You know what I'm saying? Or whether the judge decides to do concurrent or consecutive. Because concurrent, if they did both of the 10 years together, it would just be 10 years. And if he only had to serve 80% of it, he would only do 8.5. If he's already been in there for 2 years, if they give him time served, then he would technically only have to serve 6 years if they made him serve the 80%. If they do not make him do the 80%, and let's say he is a first time offender, technically he could get time served and actually be out after sentencing. That's what a lot of people don't know. With sentencing guidelines and depending on if they make him sit the full 80%, because they only have to do 80% of a federal time. But it really comes down to this point what the judge is going to do. That's what it really comes down to at this point. And whether he does consecutive or concurrent. Because if he does it to where he has to serve both 10 years separately, which means he does one 10-year, then has to do the other 10-year, then that's 20 years, and he would have to do 80% of 20 years. And that's if they do the 80%. They're supposed to do the 80% for federal, but not all the times do they do that. So this is going to come down to the judge themselves. It really is. With this sentencing. If he stays until and they give him time served and he gets out, I'm wondering what backlash is going to happen from the court of public opinion. I'm also wondering if other charges will be brought up, because here's the thing. There are other charges they could possibly tack on. He can't be found guilty of something he's already done, or a lesser charge of something he's already been not convicted of or found not guilty of. But there are other charges that could possibly come into play. Also, if other victims come forward, they could also charge him for them. And like 40 other civil lawsuits. Yeah. So this is not going to be a short road for him per se. But I'm just wondering if the judge is going to be lenient on him, if the judge is going to, because it's not on the jury, it's not on the prosecution, it's not on the defense or anything. Now it comes down to what the judge is going to do. Because technically, this judge could, could give him leniency or not give him leniency. This judge could literally make sure he spends the rest of his, young life there, because he's already. How old is P. Diddy now? Like, let's see. P. Diddy. How old is he? He is, I'm trying to look at his exact age right now. He was born June 1969. So hold on. So right now he is 55 years old. If he gets 20 years, if they do it concurrent, he would be at least almost 70 years old, or over. He would be over 70 by the time he gets out. Even if they did 80% of 20 years, if they did it that way, he'd have to serve 80% of 20 years. Let's see. 80 80% of 20 years. It would be 16 years. So he would have to do 16 years if they did it in 20 years, and 8 years if they did it for the 10 years. So if they did it that way, here's the thing: if they did it that way, because he's never been convicted of a crime before, like a crime, they could do it. Because if you're considered, it's the consideration of how many crimes you've been convicted of, etc. He could get time served, y'all. Because he's not considered a convicted felon, and he's considered a first time offender. Well, yeah, but he's never, because of the no conviction. They do the thing to where first time offenders, they can get months instead of years in jail. Depends on if they do the 80% and whether they do concurrent or consecutive. Because he's got 10 years for each count. It's the Mann Act. They got him with the Mann Act, but he got away with the racketeering and the other one. So he. But yeah. So it just, there's a lot of dependable things on this section of the Diddy trial on whether or not he's going to see any jail time, because like I was like, if you look it up, and you can look it up for first time offenders, um there is a possibility that he may get what they call time served for the time. Now, it also depends on if they decide him sitting in jail this whole time is considered dead time. They call it dead time, which means that it means nothing to your case, right? There are people who set what they call dead time, and that means you're just locked up until your case goes to court, right? It, that's why I say it really comes down to the judge now, legal wise. Now, in court of public opinion, we all think guilty. We all think he's guilty as hell. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who decides to get associated with Diddy now, that's on their ass. But any woman who decides to go play, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? I think it is gonna have like a few dependable things. I was sitting here trying to look up something right quick, but I believe it is going to come down to you know, a few things on what the judge does. A lot of us don't like what he did to women and does to women. But yeah, I'm thinking possible 8 years, and they may give him the 2 years served. Um, that he's been in there since before the trial, or how long he's been in jail since, he got since the raids happened till now. They may also give him what they call time served on that and break it down to like 5 or 6 years. It just depends. Hey, Catfish Love. Good morning. So it does depend on a few things with the Diddy stuff on whether or not he's gonna, 10 months. He's been in jail for 10 months, so he ain't even been in jail for. Why did somebody else tell me he'd been in there for 2 years? Somebody else said that I saw in one of the other live streams I watched about it. They said he'd been in there 2 years, so it ain't been but 10 months. Um, so he ain't even been there a whole year. Um, they might give him a year off that, or maybe they may consider it what they call dead time. So I'm not sure, but he would still have to do something. But if the judge wants to be lenient with him because he's a first time offender, even though he's gotten away with a lot of shit before and been in a lot of mess, he hasn't been convicted of anything. So technically, they could either put him on probation for those 8 years. They could make him go to federal prison. It just depends. It depends on the judge at this point, because first time offenders only have to do 25% sometimes. But in federal, they're supposed to do 80. But let me look that up. Let's see. Federal sentencing guidelines. Let's look up federal sentencing guidelines, right? And let's see if we can. There was a imaging. Because they're going to look at the level of the offense, the criminal history, and they're going to do the sentencing guidelines, right? They have to go by your prior criminal history. Like, let's see. Let's look at this. Let's view image in another tab. Okay, so for some reason that one's cut off. Not that one, obviously. Maybe this one. Okay. View image in criminal tab. So I'm going to show y'all something right here. Present. Share screen. Okay, so sentencing tablet, right? This is criminal history category, whether you're a 1, a 2, a 3-time offender, 4-time offender. They say 5-time offender, 6-time offender or more. And this is your level of offense, right? So if you're looking at 10 years, right? Let's say you're looking, depending on what your level is. Let's say you're looking at 10 years. You've never been convicted of a crime. You're looking at 6 to 12 months. And if he spent 10 months in jail already, or 11 or 12 months by the time that he goes up to, he could be out on probation. It is a possibility. It is a very big possibility. If he's looking at 20 years, however, he's looking at 33 to 41 months. It also depends, though, on where they say his level of offense is and all these things. These are like how they look at the guidelines, right, of different things on these things. So, when you're a class 6 felon, you're looking at way more time than, let's say, somebody that is a, it also does depend on a few other sentencing guidelines. This may not be exactly for what he did, right? But it's just looking at, what it depends on. Here's the thing. People are looking at this as the years. That's not necessarily years. That's the offense level. It depends on what offense level they give it, right? And it depends on criminal history category. So they could say his offense was a 16 level and he would get this amount. They could say, it's a lot of different factors when it comes to sentencing. And if they do the 20 or the 40, if they do the 10 years or the whatever, you know what I'm saying? I do believe they'll Catfish. I kind of believe the same thing. I think that they'll keep him locked up for another few months, and then they'll put him out on ankle monitor for the rest of his time. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily. Those women went through hell. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take facts out of your feelings. You can't have feelings when it comes to this. You got to put facts over feelings, because the facts don't care about your feelings, right? I may not like the shit that he's done and some of the things he's done to women and how he's a POS in some ways, right? The way he beat that girl and did that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that don't matter when it comes to facts. Facts don't care about my feelings. The facts of the matter are most likely him being a first-time offender. that he's most likely only going to do a certain amount, maybe 6 months, and get an ankle monitor to be out for the rest. He could get what they consider time served and be out on ankle monitor for the rest. They could just put him on probation altogether. It depends on this judge, technically. Hey, Miss Catherine, good morning. It does. It depends on the judge and what the judge believes that he deserves. It depends on what sentencing guidelines they're going to go by. It depends on whether or not they take into account of whether each count is consecutive or concurrent. No, I'm talking about like if they only give him 10 years, he only has to do 80% of it in federal, and there's the possibility that him being a first-time offender, they could give him a year. And if he's already spent 10 months in jail, they could give him time served, or he could get a year and 6 months. And time served in jail, 10 months taken off that sentence, he would only then serve like 6 or 7 months and then be out on probation for the rest of it. See, even after you serve the whatever percentage they want you to serve, you're still going to be on probation or parole for the remaining of your sentence. A lot of people don't know that. You're not just going to get out scot-free. You're still going to be on probation or parole for the rest of that time. They're going to give you 1 or 2 options usually on that, unless you serve the full time. See, that's just because you're eligible for parole, right? If they only make you do a certain percentage, that's you. If you don't want to come out on parole, you have to sit the whole time. Well, it depends on the judge, Miss Catherine, because if they decide that it's only 10 years for the Mann Act and not 20, because see, here's the thing. It depends on this judge on whether they want to do concurrent or consecutive on the charges. It depends on if they decide he's a first-time offender. Because here's the thing. He may have done some fucked up shit, but he got away with all of it. He is considered a first-time offender, which is fucked up. Hey, Simply Made Love. It's messed up. He is considered that. He has no other felonies or priors, does he? Does anybody know if... I don't think he does. I think he got away with all that shit. Because I don't think he ever got put on his... Do y'all know if he has a record for anything else besides the 2 that he just got? Like previous years prior. Does he have a record from years prior that is actually stuck? Because I know he got accused of this, that, and the next thing. And what, you know that thing that happened in Vegas with J-Lo, with the shoot and stuff, did he ever get anything for that? Because if he didn't, he's considered a first-time offender. So that's what I was trying to think of, was the gun charge. Did he actually get a charge for that with the J-Lo thing? I can't remember if he actually got a charge for that. Because if he didn't get a charge for that on his record, he would be considered a first-time offender. But if he got the first-time offender on the gun charge, then he would be considered, that wouldn't be considered at all. See, it depends on if they consider him a first-time offender or not. I don't know if that stuck to his record. That was in 2000. I think, no, Cochran got him off. If he got him off and it did not stick to his record, or it was expunged, or whatever happened with that, he would be considered a first-time offender. Yep. See, that's federal sentencing. Thank you, Shadow Stalker. Federal sentencing guidelines only consider convictions 10 years back. He has none. He is a level 1 on the federal sentencing guidelines. See, that's what I'm saying. He's considered what they call a first-time offender in the court of law. No matter, facts don't care about your feelings. Even if we don't like him and we think he's a POS and he beats women, he does this, blah, 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 whatever you think about him, right? Facts don't care about your feelings. They could possibly let him go with time served, and an ankle monitor. It depends on this judge on whether or not they do concurrent or consecutive. If it's he can either get sentenced to 10 years or 20, depending on when they charge for both. If they charge, because he got convicted of both, two different women, for for two charges on both women, right? It's the same charge though, so they could do what they, if they do concurrent, he gets the 10 years. If they do consecutive, he could get 20. So it depends on that. It depends on if, because he's a first time offender, you know what I'm saying? That is very true, Shadow Stalker. Facts don't care about our feelings anyway, right? So when it comes to the court of law, the facts are, you know, I don't know if somebody's suing Cassie Simply Made. I do know that she sued and got her money, and it's possible that someone could sue her. It says the prosecutions asked for 5 to 6 year sentence. If he gets 80%, if they give him that 80%, he would have to do 8 years. But being a first time offender, they're probably not going to make him do the full 80% of federal time, because they usually do like them to do 80% before they're eligible for parole. If they only charge him with the 10 years and they say it's concurrent, so that means both of the charges run together, or I always forget which one's which on concurrent and consecutive. But if they do just the 10 years and he only gets a year, he's already served 10 months. They'll only make him spend 2 more months in jail, and then he'll probably get on a probation, and be on probation for the rest of his time with the ankle monitor for a little while, and then, having to pay probationary costs and parole and all that stuff. So it just depends on whether they do the 10 years for each one at the same time. Because if they do the 20 years, right? If they do the 20 years, he would have to spend 16 years. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. They usually do concurrent on first time offenders and consecutive on if you've done it before. So they're probably going to do the 10 years, and he's probably only going to have to do a minimum of a year and so many months. And if that's the case, being a first time offender, he'll be maybe in there still for a couple more months and then let out and probably on probation for the rest of it. But if in case they do decide to do the 20 years, he will have to spend some time in jail. It depends on the judge at this point. It depends on what the judge decides his sentencing guidelines are. Because the guidelines, right, that they are what they are. And it depends on what this judge decides to do. If this judge decides that they're concurrent and they run together, then he's not going to do as much time as people thinking he's fixing to get, because he's considered a first time offender. I think the same thing, Shadow Stalker. I think that they're going to, at sentencing, that's why they're holding him to without bond. I think when sentencing comes up, because it'll be about a year that he's done when he goes to sentencing, I think they will suspend time and all this other stuff, and he's going to get probation. And do I think it's my public opinion, my physical opinion? Do I think it's right? No, because he did some fucked up shit. But you got to go by facts and not feelings. So I'm taking my feelings completely out of this situation. And I do not think he's going to do time, y'all. I really don't. But I think he's going to mess up during that time that he's supposed to be on probation. I do believe he going to fuck up. Oh, you talking about Miss Jaguar? Miss Jaguar, right? Yeah, Miss Jaguar, right? I don't know what she thinks. I ain't talked to her in a while. But I gotta go over there and visit her. But I don't know what Miss Jaguar, right, is thinking. But I believe that I believe he's going to walk. I'm sorry. I believe he's going to walk and he's going to get probation. I believe he's going to get on ankle monitor for a while because they're going to consider him a first time offender because that's the way they look at it in sentencing. It's not, do I think it's right? No. But I have to go by what they do for federal sentencing. Now, if this judge wants to throw the book at him, now there is this other one. Now, if the judge wants to throw the book, then there is a possibility, if the judge wants to throw the book, that he could do at least 5 or 6 years. But he's not going to still do what people think he's going to do. Because he's considered a first-time offender. He hadn't had anything on his thing in a while. You know, so there's that. And what's gonna be crazy is that all those people that testified now got to watch over their back. And you write about that, Shadow Stalker. The guy Gene Deal probably had to hire him some security. I would say, because they didn't hit him as hard as they wanted to, he still got the power, means, opportunity, and to do some shit. So I would be very cautious and looking over my shoulder. And, you know, I wouldn't be living in the same town this motherfucker's living in. But I do believe he's going to mess up. I don't believe he's going to be on his P's and Q's like he should be. And he's going to want retribution. And I think he's going to mess up. I pray that nobody gets unalived in this situation. The fallout, Catfish, is what I'm worried about. And I pray to God that nothing bad happens. I pray to God. Because if you know anything, yeah, too many people were banking on that RICO conviction to keep him in life in prison, to keep them safe. And yeah, and Diddy is the payback kind of dude. And I'm gonna say this, Shadow Stalker, I'm gonna pray that what I think may happen, I hope it don't happen. You know what I'm saying? I hope it don't. But I do believe that will be the thing that actually sticks to him and gets him. And then he'll have to do the whole time on those sentences plus what he's going to do. Because I don't think he's smart enough not to do it. You get what I'm saying? I don't think he's smart enough not to do it. To not try to get retribution and to not do nothing knowing he's on paper. He's going to think he's untouchable. He's going to think that he's untouchable. He's going to think that he can get away with it. Because that's where his brain leads to. Just like he thought he could get away with all the shit he'd been doing, right? He gonna still do it. Love you. Be safe. But yeah. Do you, you know what I'm saying? Do you think he's smart enough not to do it? Not to try to get payback? And here's the thing. If they catch him, let's say he does. Let's play devil's advocate here. Right? Let's say he gets out and he's on paper. Right? And he ain't supposed to do these things. I don't think he ain't going to try to hire somebody else to do it. But if they catch him in a murder for hire, oh Lord, how much does a murder? I'm just going to look this up. How much that would get you in jail? Like I'm just looking. And how much you could actually spend in prison for that. Also depends on even if let's say the person doesn't do it and they turn him in. And it would be a federal crime. And it is illegal under Section 15A. Well, we already know that. How much jail time? So that's a 10-year up to 20 years. And if personal injury or death or life imprisonment, uh, if death results. So hopefully nothing like that occurs, but it'd be life in prison if something actually occurs. And even if he just gets caught texting it or emailing it or any which way, that's a 10-year prison for general violation, up to 20 years if any injury occurs. And if death occurs, it's life imprisonment. So even let's just say no injury occurs and he just gets caught texting that shit or saying that shit, if they got him tapped, that's a 10-year sentence plus the 10 years, and he would not be considered a first-time offender at that point. I do believe that there are other charges they didn't bring up. I do believe they have a secondary trial thought processed up for him. I do believe that there are other things they didn't add to this trial that I do believe that they ain't brought up yet. That is very true, Shadowstalker. He's another Epstein, and we will never see that list because he has too much on some very powerful people in entertainment and in the government. I believe so. I'm gonna say this. He may go missing if he knows too much and he threatens certain people. Because we done seen that happen too. You know what I'm saying? When somebody knows too much, you know what I mean? That may be a possibility too. All of a sudden, mysteriously, something happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't play them dangerous games and be in that bullshit. But even if he, let's say he tries to get back at somebody like the Jane person or and it don't even end in injury. It's just he texted it or tried to get something done. That's 10 years for each one of those counts. So he better hope he gets out and minds his P's and Q's, is all I got to say. And he better not threaten the wrong person with exposing anybody. That's all I got to say. Because this is going to turn into something more, I believe. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell you. But something else is going to happen within the next 6 months to a year, and we're going to hear about it. And we'll be able to come back to this day in time and talk about it from there. Like, y'all remember when I told y'all that? I told y'all he was going to disappear on mysterious circumstances. Look what happened. It ain't no conspiracy. Told y'all. Or I told y'all he was going to do something stupid. Look at his ass. Now he in prison. Dumbass. You know what I'm saying? He didn't mind his P's and Q's. I wonder what other fallout is going to come from this. I also agree with you, Catfish, and you, Shadowstalker, on that. There's going to be some more fallout when it comes to this. I just don't know what it's going to be yet, right? We don't know what it's going to be. I think the same way, Catfish. I don't think he can mind his P's and Q's because he thinks he's above the law. He doesn't let the power and the money go to his head, and he thinks he's above it all, and he believes he can get away with it. You know, one thing I hope he don't do, and I just thought about it, involve his kids in this shit. Like, put one of his kids up to doing something stupid as hell and ruin their life. I hope he don't do that. I hope he don't, but he's stupid enough in the type to do it too. Because he sees them as fixtures and not his children. He sees them as look pretties, but not his children. You get what I'm saying? Like, he sees them to use them. He doesn't see them as what we see our children as. I hope and pray he don't do that. Every time now I think about Diddy, I'm always going to think about Baby Oil and Tootsie Rolls. So every time I see him anywhere, I see a picture of him, the song, let me see that Tootsie Roll. Let me see that Tootsie Roll. Every time now, I'm going to be thinking of that song. Every time. Now, I can't get that song out of my head. Cotton candy, sweet and gold. Let me see that Tootsie Roll. Every time. Now, I can't help it. And Baby Oil should just go ahead and put a picture of Diddy on the front of their shit. Because now every time I think of Baby Oil, that's all I think about is Diddy and them hotel rooms and all them. Like, were they just taking baths in the Baby Oil, like just dipping their whole body in it? Like, I'm gonna say this. I think some shit's gonna go down after the fact. I just don't know what it's gonna be yet, and I don't believe he's gonna be able to sit. If they give him probation, I think he's gonna still try to do something stupid, and I just hope and pray that nobody gets unalived. That's the only pray I have. I don't want nothing to happen to the Jane lady or Cassie Ventura or anybody. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my only prayer because he's the type to do some shit like that. And I hope and pray with her having a new baby, you know what I'm saying? It may be the thing that puts him in prison for the rest of his life, but I don't want that to happen to her or any of those innocent women. Hey Rico, what up, bro? I don't want that to happen to her or any of the innocent women or families involved in this situation. Um, I think the person he's going to go after, to tell you the truth, is going to be Cassie. I believe the person he's going to go after is Cassie, and I pray to God that he don't do what I think he gonna do. No, they didn't. And them dumbass women had it. They ain't got no sense, do they? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, sweet baby Jesus. Now, I'm not saying Cassie not guilty of participation, but you know that for her talking, that he gonna try to come at her, that he gonna try to unalive her or have something done to her. And I pray to God that don't nothing bad happen to that girl. I pray to God because she got a brand new baby, and that baby don't deserve that shit. I pray to God don't nothing happen there. I'm just saying, I'm praying for that because we all know that there's going to be some kind of repercussion. He's going to try to do some kind of repercussion to anybody who talked against him. And I think the two he going to go after, the main is going to be the Jane lady. I mean, Gene Diaz, his ex-bodyguard, talking a lot of shit. He never went after him. This dude's been talking shit on Diddy for a while. But Cassie and the Jane lady, specifically, he's going to blame the women because he's the type that ain't going to blame another man or go after another man. He going to go after the women. He not that he ain't even going to care about what his ex assistant said. But he is, I'm telling you, he going to hold something against I think it's going to be Cassie because she was the main focus of this trial. And I do believe he's going to go after her. And I'm super scared for her life, her child's life, the people around her. I mean, look what he did to her ex-boyfriend just because, blew up his car and shit. You know what I'm trying to say? I believe he's going to go after Cassie. I truly believe that. I hope he don't. I hope that girl, you know what I'm saying? But something gonna happen. I'm telling y'all. I just don't know what it's gonna be, and I pray it ain't gonna be as bad as I think it is. That's why I think that catfish. I think she was the main one that got the ball rolling on this shit, and I think he's gonna blame her the most. And I think he's really gonna come after her the most. I really do, and I pray to God he don't do what I think he gonna do. I pray he don't do what I think he gonna do. And I pray that baby and her and her family gonna be okay. That's my prayer for this situation because I think he gonna come after that baby. I think he gonna have to come after her. He gonna come after the family. I same thing on the sidelines. I worry more for the baby. I think that's the one that's the part that bothers me the most is that innocent little baby ain't got nothing to do with this situation, but gonna be caught in the crossfire. You know what I'm saying? That little baby that was just born, just in this world, ain't bothered a soul, ain't done nothing wrong. That's what I worry about. I worry for that baby's safety. That little baby. That little baby ain't got shit to do with what her mama did. That baby ain't got shit to do, or his mama. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy. Um, but that baby ain't got nothing to do with what their mama did, messing around with a crazed out motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That little innocent child ain't got shit to do with that. And that's what worries me the most is that baby gonna be a target. You know what I'm saying? That baby gonna be a target. And that baby innocent, y'all. That's the part that I'm like, please don't do that shit. Please don't do that shit. Because I know how that rolls. He may not even go after her. He may just go after that baby to hurt her. You get what I'm saying? And that's what scares me is that innocent baby who don't deserve that shit. That's an innocent child. I think he'd do anything to hurt her. And that means going after her husband. That means going after her child. That means going after her family members, the innocent people in this shit. That's what I'm saying on the sidelines. That's what scares me. And y'all know the baby gonna be the number one target. Yup, that's true, Catfish. She'll never have a normal life. Always looking over her shoulder, worried about something happening. And I bet you that's why a lot of people didn't come forward because they were scared of repercussions and this very thing happening. But there's a possibility if they had come forward, he may have actually got convicted if they'd had multiple people and not just two. This is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to turn into something crazy before it's all said and done. I'm just praying that innocence is not lost because of bad. That innocence is not hurt because of bad situations and adult situations. Because innocent people don't deserve to be pulled into this bullshit that they had nothing to do with it. But 90% of the time when somebody wants to hurt you, they go after the innocents. I mean, just look what happens here on YouTube. They go after your children. They go after your relatives. They don't just keep it on you. Right? They don't just keep it on you. So think about in the criminal world, what they gonna go after and what they gonna do. And all we can say is a little prayer, you know what I'm saying? And cover that baby in love and in the blood and pray that baby is, you know, protected by God. And what if he drives her crazy enough to think he's going to do that and then she's the one that unalives? You get what I'm saying? Her and her entire family. See, that's this right here could lead into so much other crazy shit. Because when people think that, you know, that's true, he has the money and the pool, and he has the money if they don't catch him doing it. You get what I'm saying? To get away with it. That's the sad part. I do worry about that child, though. That baby don't deserve nothing to happen to it. I pray that baby's gonna be all right. That's my one prayer, y'all. If I could say anything for this situation, is that baby's okay. We don't really fully know yet what though this judge is going to decide. We have to wait until sentencing. But either way, he's not going to spend a lot of time in prison. He's not going to spend life. She's not protected. And this right here, they're not really going to be taking the money from him that they should be taking. So he's still going to have the money and the power in the pool. Because she let down by the law, y'all. They you know what I mean? So it's kind of like when DV victims try to get a restraining order, and they don't. The law don't do nothing about it. Have y'all ever watched the Tracy Thurman story? That story right there, woo! That movie is super powerful. It's called A Cry for Help, the Tracy Thurman story. Y'all should watch that shit if you ain't seen it. And that's a real life story that happened to a real woman. Her ex-husband stalked the shit out of her. She had a restraining order. The cops didn't do anything. The cops stood there when she called and said he was in her backyard and would not leave. And this dude slit her throat, stomped on her, stabbed her, did all kind of shit to her. This woman had to learn to re-walk again. She couldn't even take care of her baby. And it was because the cops didn't do their due diligence and do what was right. And this could happen in this situation too. And that, you know, if you ever have a chance, watch that. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna piss you off. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be wanting to scream at the TV, because I did. But that's a good movie if you have a chance to watch it. It's an old movie called A Cry for Help, the Tracy Thurman story. She sued the police department and everything because they failed to give her equal protection because she was married to this man. And she's the ones that got the law changed for that. If y'all didn't know, the law used to be if you were married to your husband and he beat you, the law didn't do shit about it because you were married. You were considered his property, and the law really didn't do much and didn't take it seriously. Look into the Tracy Thurman story. It was because of Tracy Thurman that they started taking that more seriously. Let me present screen and show y'all right quick. This is the real Tracy Thurman. Right here. In 1985, Tracy Thurman versus City of Torrington, Connecticut becomes the first case heard in federal court of a woman suing city police for having failed to protect her from her husband's violence, which permanently scarred and partially paralyzed her. She was awarded a $2 million judgment. This was one of the first cases that was ever heard. This is for DV history in the March and women's movement. She was one of the first ones heard. You see that across her throat? That's where he slit her from ear to ear. He stomped her in her back, stabbed her in her spine, did all kind of stuff to this woman, and she lived to tell about it. Thank you, God, she lived. They didn't. It took the ambulance like so long to get there when it shouldn't have. If you really look into her story, they did that woman dirty, and you know, so many women were done that way in the past, especially if you were married. You know what I'm saying? And DV wasn't as taken as serious as it is nowadays. And this was just in 1985. So imagine someone who has money and pull. Here I'll show you the lady who played Tracy Thurman, very known actress. But let me show you. Let me see where y'all can watch it so y'all know. A Cry for Help, the Tracy Thurman story. Cry for Help. The crazy. It came out in 1989, so it's a really old movie. But I'm gonna see where y'all can watch it right quick. Y'all can watch it. Hold on, just a minute. I got a call coming in. So I gotta go in a minute and help with something, but let me show you the movie thing before I leave out today. Share screen. This is the poster to it right here. Um, this is where it's called A Cry for Help, the Tracy Thurman story. Um, Nancy McKinnon plays as Tracy and Dale Midcalf as Buck. And it came out in 1989. I'm trying to look right now. That's the poster for it. That's what the movie thing looks like. I'm trying to figure out where you can watch it. Because I mean, it may be on. It's a Lifetime movie, so it also could be on YouTube. You could watch for free. Let's see where to watch. Okay, let's see. It's on MoviePhone, archive.org, streamable. Check various streaming platforms like. Let's see. Let's see. I think YouTube has it for full. I think. I'll look, but it's a really good movie. It's an old Lifetime movie. Streamable has it. Let's see what Streamable. Streamable says it's not found anywhere right now, but I know that there's a possibility you could probably find it on YouTube. Let me look right quick on YouTube. I'm not sure. Hey, Stiffy's how? Don't we all need therapy sometime though? Let me see. Let me see videos. Let me see if this is the full movie. If this is the full movie, I'm gonna share it with y'all because it's okay. That's just somebody talking about the movie. I think I found it. Let's see how I share this. Okay, I just found the full movie on this website called OK.ru or something like that. I'm gonna post the code, the way to watch it. This is a way to watch that entire movie. I got to get off here. I got to go get dressed and go to the drugstore because they need my insurance card, all this other stuff. But I'll be back. I love you all. Would have stayed a little longer, but I gotta go do something right quick. I love y'all. That's how you watch the movie, though. It's called A Cry for Help, the Tracy Thurman story. It's a really good movie. You should see it. All right, bye, y'all.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Adder Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, checking seat banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down on 1800, watching out for them knuckleheads that be stanging round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about round 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out the street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue apartments when OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, car blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm ripping my